Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? I tagged a title. Thank you. I used the Glow Skin sunscreen because I just had PRP and I was so swollen, but it is very glowing. Thank you for noticing. Okay, let me see if Joanna's here. I'm really excited for her to be joining. I'll give you guys the backstory in a second. Oh, she's so on time. Where is she? Hi, Mom. My mom's here. Uh-oh, my mom's here. Joanna!
Hi!
How are you?
I'm so excited to be in bed with you. I can't even tell
Oh,
you.
when this is all over, you're gonna be right here, and we'll kick my husband out. How are you?
I'm good. I'm actually in Los Angeles right now.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh my God, when did you go?
Caesar and I came out here last Tuesday
How was the
because
flight?
it was the cleanest airplane I've ever been on.
Good to
But
know.
I
How is
am,
it there now?
you know, um, I think New Yorkers are taking things a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
But we trained the staff. We did all the things, and we opened this past Saturday for business.
Uh-huh.
So I've been doing facials. I did facials today.
Was it like the best feeling ever to be back at work?
Girl, I was so excited to be back. I missed my clients, as you know.
Uh-huh.
We develop bonds with people, and it was just really nice to be back. Guess who I saw?
Ooh.
Mindy,
Today?
the other day.
No way! Oh my God, I miss her. Tell her I say hi if you see her again.
I will. We
Oh my
talk
God.
about you all the time
You
together.
do? She's the
hmm
best. She's the best. Okay, let me quickly give everyone a quick
Okay.
background
We just
because
started without everybody
I
else.
know
Sorry,
it's like a
guys.
FaceTime call. We're like, what the F are they talking about? We're like, oh, hey, everyone. But basically, Joanna needs no introduction. She is one of the best esthetician facialists that I know. But
Thanks,
not
hun.
just that, Joanna holds a special place in my heart. And I was wearing hearts for you because when I was going through a very difficult professional time in my life, she really was a sounding board for me when I had hardly met you. And I really do consider you one of my mentors in a field and in the
Thank
business
you.
when it was very difficult to turn to somebody that I could trust. So
That means so much to me.
that is Joanna's introduction. And I was so excited when you were nominated because I was waiting for somebody to say your name. And so I was super, super happy to have you. And I have this, by the way, that you need to explain to me what this does in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so happy that you were joining me tonight. So this is Joanna. If you want to quickly tell me in your own words who is Joanna Vargas, because that's always how I start this off, you can kick it off yourself. But I wanted to quickly introduce you from my perspective.
So for anybody who doesn't know me, I am a facialist. I started out in New York City. I live in New York City, and my husband and I started our first salon in New York about 14 years ago, and we also have a salon here in Los Angeles, which is why I'm in California to reopen, because California, LA County did reopen for facials, which I know all of my sister facialists in New York are in pain because we haven't been able to reopen. But that's why I'm here. Shereene and I have been um, friends for quite a while, and we met through a mutual friend, and it was kind of love at first sight for both of us.
I
So
can't believe it was the photographer who took my first headshots,
who
Roderick,
who was my friend from high school.
which is insane. Insane,
Yeah.
insane. All right, so let's dig deeper. So the way this works is I usually kind of ask you about your past, your childhood, what drew you to your what you do, just so people can
Okay.
get a sense of who you are. Then we're gonna jump into the beauty industry.
Okay.
And then we'll talk quickly about like skincare, obviously, not just
Yeah.
quickly. And little tips that you have and questions that people have asked, I try to incorporate. And I
Okay.
do want to quickly ask you about this before we start, because I might want to use it while we're doing it. I just had PRP today and I'm swollen a tiny bit. And this is a heating cooling device, right?
Correct. So I created this device because I wanted to give people sort of like a foundation on what are the steps of an at-home facial that you could mimic a facial
Uh-huh.
at home. So there are 4 settings on the device, 2 settings that go hot and 2 that are cold. So setting number 1 is just heat. And
Okay.
I would do that over like an enzyme exfoliator,
Uh-huh.
something where you want to keep ingredients active, just like in a facial, how we put steam on you. So it would be sort of like keeping everything working on
I
the
see.
face. Then the second program is Heat Plus Massage. So a good facialist will always massage your face with the steamer on and get the
Okay.
circulation moving and, to get some lymphatic going on.
Uh-huh. And then you have
Program
2 colds, right?
Yeah, program 3 is just cold only. I would do that over a beauty mask or a sheet mask.
Okay.
Depuff, soothe, reduce inflammation. And
Uh-huh.
the fourth setting is cold plus massage, which is my favorite setting.
Me too,
Um,
actually. And I'm like, I'm swelling actively because of the PRP, but I'm not gonna put that one because I think it's making sound while I speak to you. So I'm just gonna go
so
on cold.
yeah, that's it. It won't beep while it's on a program. It was just telling you it was on.
Oh, I see.
So, but anyway, just cold is fine because
Yeah.
you just had a
Okay.
treatment. So.
So tell me, how have you gotten into, like, tell me about your past. Like, how did you find your way into this industry? And your child, were you always drawn to it as a kid?
Yeah, I was obsessed with beauty products as a child. Like I had the most lip glosses, the most bubble baths. My grandmother, my mother's mom, was really into beauty and she would let me do her hair and makeup all the time.
Uh-huh.
And she always gave me beauty presents. I always had the most fabulous collection of perfumes. So it was
Uh-huh.
definitely something I was passionate about from being a very little girl. And then when I went to college, I thought I wanted to be a photographer,
Uh-huh.
fashion photographer, and that's what I moved to New York to do after school. But I'm more, believe it or not, more shy and reserved and not so extroverted. And
Uh-huh.
so being a freelancer, I just couldn't, I mean, I would have an ulcer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to beauty school being like, well, maybe I'll do makeup. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just fell in love with taking care of people, doing facials and figuring out their skin. And that's really, I gave it a year and I really honestly never looked back. It's just really what I've always loved to do.
Oh my, and this was how long ago?
I became a facialist about 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And it was just basically ingrained then. But
Yeah.
did you like know from the very beginning that you just want, like, how do you, because it's obviously daunting, right? And you go into this beauty school, you learn something that everyone else learns. You see all these people graduating with you.
Yeah.
How did you go from like that to starting your own thing? Like, was it just, oh, I know the answer to this, but I know people don't. So I'm kind of trying to like,
So basically, I was working. I tried out different places to work because you get out of beauty school, you don't know a lot. I
Mhm.
worked for a derm for a little bit. I worked at a day spa. I kind of worked all over. And the last place I worked, I felt like I just wanted something more. I wanted something more from my clients. I wanted to do something different. And so that's really what inspired me to create my own space. Even that was very daunting because it was in an era where most places were opening with like a $20 million build out and they were huge spas with,
Mhm.
four-handed massages and stuff. And we opened in a 300 square foot space. It was 2 tiny rooms. I had to suck in my breath to get from the door of the facial room to my chair. It
Oh
was
my
so small
gosh.
in there, and you had to whisper or else the people in the other room could hear you. So it was really like humble beginnings. So we just started out from there, and really I just wanted to create my own voice. And I felt like I had a point of view and a perspective, and I I took it from there.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the way that you've grown. Who's FaceTiming me? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. My husband. He has he has to interrupt. It's like it's ingrained in his DNA that it's like shocking. It's shocking. Anyway, I just declined him on the computer. I apologize for that. I've actually put a do not disturb on my phone, but I don't know how to do not disturb my computer. Okay. So
It
that
happens
being
all the
said,
time.
I
It's
am
fine.
so sorry. Okay. Um, but I think that that is a very, I mean, I love your story because I think a lot of people think that they need to start big and they need to start like, especially
Yeah.
nowadays with the pressure
Yeah.
of social media.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get a lot of, people who are in training who are asking you, how do I become big right
Yeah.
away?
I mean, I do get it all the time. And as you know, just from the beginnings of our friendship, I do try to, whenever anybody asks me anything, I try to answer them. You know, you don't have to start big. I think what makes you get big is putting your heart into what you do, studying as much as you can and doing research so that you're doing treatments that you can really stand behind,
Yep.
and really being there for people and making the treatments so good that they have to tell their friends. And that's really how I did it. There's no other secret. A lot of facialists tend to ask me, well, what machine do you use for this or that? And really, in all honesty, for me, it's not the machine, it's the way you care for somebody that makes the biggest difference. So you don't have
Mhm.
to buy an expensive machine when you can't afford it, because that can be scary for a new facialist to start out, or someone starting their own business.
Of
And
course. And
I'm
then they feel like they just have to cover the cost and they're no longer thinking about how can I care for somebody without worrying about paying the rent.
Exactly. And I'm sure it's that you feel the same about you with your patients. You invest in things that really you really want to make that difference for somebody and have them
Hmm.
walk out feeling better about themselves. So,
I'm 100%. But I love that. I love your story. I love your story. Okay. And how did you become the queen of the naturopathic facial? And what exactly does that mean? The naturopathic facial, in case people don't know.
you know, I think it's interesting because I have been a facialist for 20 years. I think definitions of things have changed in the beauty industry over the years,
Hmm.
and whoever coined that phrase, perhaps at the beginning, um, perhaps would change it if they could name me now. But basically, like, I use non-invasive treatments. All of my equipment is non-invasive or minimally invasive. And really what I'm about is making you the best version of yourself instead
Hmm.
of trying to make, I'm not going to go, I don't want someone to come in and be like, I want to look like, uh, name a celebrity. I want to make someone feel like he or she is beautiful in their own skin. And I think that's what that means to me now. It's natural beauty, you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily, and I try to dig into the whole body. So if something's going on in your skin, your skin's just a window
Hmm.
into what's happening on the inside of you. I'll, um, I'll send you to a derm. I'll send you to a doctor in order to kind of treat the whole person so that we
Hmm.
can get your skin well again.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what you do, actually. And you also are the queen of the Triple Crown. Say hi to Rachel
Yes,
Strugats. Rachel just said hello. Hey, Rachel. And that Triple Crown is basically a whole non-invasive kind of facial that also resembles, you know what I mean, the tightening effect, etc., that you would get with more invasive procedures, correct?
correct. And so it's something, because it's non-invasive, it's microcurrent.
Uh-huh.
You
I
have to
can't
do it
believe
on a
I've
reg.
never had one.
I know. What's up with that?
I don't know, but I need to like come and
I
get
think we
one.
need to, I need, when I'm open again, we'll need to do like a trade. I'll come
Yeah,
over to you and you come over to me.
anytime, but I need to experience your hands first
Yes,
on for that
babe.
Triple Crown.
Yes,
I know.
yes.
Absolutely. And so how do you decide when you have somebody come in, like what kind of customizable treatment you want to do for them? What's your train of thought when you see somebody?
Well, I I ask them what their goals are or what inspired them to come in if they're a new client. Because very often they've had failure in the past or
Uh-huh.
felt like a failure about their skin. And I want to make sure that whatever their concern is, I'm addressing it.
Uh-huh.
And I also question them about what they have going on if they're coming in because they have an event.
Uh-huh.
Because often I'll meet people for the first time the night before, like a red carpet
And
or,
you're like, what are you doing here right now? Oh my
yeah,
God, it's the worst. Or like
yeah.
my wedding's in 3 days.
Yeah, I actually, you'll find this amusing. For Emmys last year, I had an actress come in who I'd never met before, and she was recommended to me. It was the night before the Emmys at like 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, great, what inspired you to come in?
Uh-huh.
Um,
You're like
and
FML in your head.
pretty much,
Uh-huh.
and she was like, I never let anyone but my dermatologist touch my face.
Uh-huh.
I've had so many bad facials. And I was like, okay, cool. So what made those bad? Tell me about those experiences. And it's just really to try to create a safe space for somebody. And then, we ended up doing the triple crown.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't exfoliate her because that can be dicey. She uh, is African American,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes microdermabrasion is not the right thing for darker skin tones,
Mm-hmm.
because it can create a lot of inflammation, post
Mm-hmm.
inflammation. So anyway, we did that. It was great. She loved it. And I made it home by midnight. So
I mean, God bless you for working at 10 p.m. I would have been like, girl, it's time to go home and watch TV
I
or
wouldn't do
something.
it for just anybody. I really wanted to meet her.
Oh my God. I'm curious who it was.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. All right. Fine. All right. So now coming quickly back to your brand itself,
Yeah.
because not only do you have your spas, you also have your own skincare line and your gadgets. Okay.
Yeah.
When you launched, how did you not get, and I actually have this question for most people who are entrepreneurs when I have them on,
Yeah.
how did you not get overwhelmed by like the amount of brands out there, information overload? Like, you know what I mean?
I do.
Um, so how do you manage that?
Well, I guess I felt like I had sort of a different take on product. I wanted to create products that were really focused on vitamins and things that I thought were important for anybody's skin to
Mm-hmm.
have in them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I wasn't really seeing that quite um, in the marketplace. And I just had a mission that I thought I could do it. And it turns out that I'm not bad at creating formulas, but
Uh-huh.
it you don't know you have the skill until you start messing with it.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I just felt like I just wasn't quite seeing what I wanted to have on my face. And so that's
That's why
what,
you started.
and also, to be honest with you, and you and I have talked about this privately, my husband and I are business partners, and really, like, when I'm in doubt with myself, he'll be like, I know you can do this. And sometimes you need
I
somebody.
love Caesar. He's like such a good cheerleader to have. You're
Uh-huh.
so blessed to have him on your side
Thank
because he
you.
really is.
Yeah, and he, sometimes gives me that extra push that I need. And certainly when it came to the products, he was like, I know you can do this.
Uh-huh.
And that's really, I was like, okay. And he kind of made it safe for me. If it was a disaster, he wasn't going to be mad at me and
Uh-huh.
that I wasted all his money.
That's always a plus. That's always a plus. What do you think are like the biggest gaps in like the skincare industry? Like when you take a step back, like right now in 2020, if you have like a bird's eye view, what do you feel are like gaps that you see like missing or that you wish you can like create for your own skincare line?
I do think that there's less focus on the body than there should be. Like, I would love, um, I have been known to take my face serums and use them on my body, just get
Uh-huh.
like my manufacturer to make like a giant thing for me.
Uh-huh.
Um, body serums I think could be better. I haven't tried any that are fantastic. Body creams I'm obsessed with still, and that's from back when I was a little girl.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not really seeing that as much as I would like, with like lots of actives and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's really an area that I'd like to delve into more. I mean, I think there's a lot of confusion over skin tone and stuff like that. And I think,
What kind of
um,
confusion?
well, I think that education is really important. I think when you get out of beauty school, you you really need to take time to learn about lots of different types of skin.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in school, I don't feel like that was an area that was really focused on
Mm-hmm.
because schools are very focused on passing the state board.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how many times I've been trained by people who thought just because you had darker skin that your skin could take more. And
Interesting.
you and I both know
Yeah.
that it's actually the
Incorrect.
opposite is
Yeah.
true. And so education is really important. And I think just creating an area or a space or a salon that welcomes everybody and makes it clear that everybody, I can treat your skin and it's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because, a lot of people they worry about that, whether you've ever had their skin tone or their skin type before
Mm-hmm.
they'll let you treat them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wish there was more education, I guess.
No, that's a good point. It's funny. Somebody just asked, is there a body cream with red tretinoin in it? So I've actually looked into this because I agree with you about the body. The
Okay.
issue I think with body is that we are so far in the US behind the curve in education about body care that
Mhm.
when you look into producing products at body sizes, it's no longer cost effective, right? Because you have to make so much more and it can't be at the same price points because people in the US don't understand that they have to take care of their body like they have to take care of their face. I think it's a whole re-education, but
Yeah.
tretinoin has to be, it's really hard to keep it in a massive package without it being exposed to sunlight or daylight or air or whatever it is. And it's not as stable. And so that's why you don't see it so much in a large size body product.
Yeah.
So
I
that's I'm
think
answering that person's question.
that makes sense. Also, I think what ends up happening is you get a body serum that has no actives in it, and it's just a
Bio
bunch
oil.
of oils. And I'm
I know. I know. I know. Okay, let's get back to you. Okay. So, what is your biggest advice for anyone who is thinking of entering the beauty space? And then I always love this question because I always ask this one. What in your life was like a bulldozer moment to be like, F it, I'm going to overcome these effing adversities that I'm facing and I'm just going to do it? Like, what was your biggest bulldozer moment in your life that pushed you to be to where you are?
um for me, we had opened our salon in 2006, I think. And in 2008, there was a big financial crisis, um, as we all know. And in New York City, what happened to me was the few clients that I had were not wanting to come in and get treatments because they felt like other people were suffering and they didn't want to be like getting facials.
Uh-huh.
And so my services suddenly like bottomed out and I only had we didn't have very many clients to begin with. So I was really scared. My son was 3 at that time,
Oh my God.
and uh-huh. And we had put everything we had into this business. I told you privately, and I say it publicly, Caesar and I put the expenses of opening on credit cards.
I can't. Oh my God. You didn't. Your daughter is younger than your son, yeah?
Correct.
Okay. Oh my
So she
God.
wasn't born yet. But anyway, 3-year-old boy at home and, barely surviving as it was. And then there was a financial crisis in the world. So after just like having massive panic about what was going to happen, um, I really, I decided to start writing letters to my clients and just
Okay.
being like, I miss you. I know things are rough right now. I'm thinking of you. I hope all is well, whatever, just stuff like that. And then it would be like, don't forget to exfoliate. I know you're not coming in and that's fine, but don't forget to exfoliate twice a week and
Mm,
things like that. And honestly, the letters started bringing clients back into the salon because they missed me and they felt, I wasn't asking them for anything. I was just
Yeah,
reaching out, and we got people back in, and we were busier than ever suddenly, and it really worked. And to this day, the estheticians that work for me write thank you notes to every client that they see, because it was a real lesson. The more personal you make something and the more you show that you care, people will respond to that, you know?
it's so true. That's such a good lesson.
Hmm.
That's such a good lesson and relevant to now, you know?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
really such a good
absolutely.
lesson.
Absolutely.
Okay, I love that. Oh my God. I think that's also your biggest advice then to anyone entering the beauty space. I mean, that bulldozer moment and biggest advice, I think, are a two in one, unless you have
Yeah, and
something else.
I think also, like, just be true to yourself. Don't try to copy don't think what I do is going to be what makes you successful. It's not going to work like that.
No, no.
Like,
Remember, that was like the first thing I asked you. I was like, I felt like I had to fit a mold. And you're like, just let it go. Remember?
yeah, yeah,
It was,
yeah.
yeah, it's
Like,
so true.
yeah. Anyway, it's just something, be personal in the sense that show that, whatever problem your client is experiencing, don't be tone deaf to that, and really just be like, I'm here for you if you need me. And really, the clients will come. I mean, look
Hmm.
what happened to us. The clients will come.
No, 100, that's very true. Okay, so let's go into your beauty questions. Okay. What is the most common thing that you see with your clients that you think they're doing wrong or that they're missing from their everyday skincare routine?
Definitely exfoliation is a regular wrong thing that people do. Either people skip it completely, or they over exfoliate like mad. I don't know if it's true for you as well.
100%. It's like either they don't know what it is, and you're like,
Right,
or
right.
they're like, I'm exfoliating 3 times a day, and they're
Yes,
like dripping
yes,
oil
yes,
down their face. And I'm like, well, maybe I could cook with, like you got to stop, But it's so true. It's crazy.
yes.
I don't know why they're confused about like reading their skin when it comes to exfoliation. How do you address that?
Well, I tell people that exfoliation is the absolute best step in a routine. And if there's something not to skip besides washing your face at night before you go to sleep, it's exfoliation, because a good exfoliation once or twice a week will make the products penetrate better. You could be putting, $1,000 face oils on your face, but if you don't exfoliate, it's not penetrating.
Hmm. Do
Um,
you believe that they should exfoliate the face or just face naked? Like how much do you exfoliate?
I mean, I would love it if people went all the way down to the boobs, not everybody.
It's a unit. We're not gonna go down with the camera, but it's a unit. It's totally a unit,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So I love dry brushing before the shower as like sort of a general all over.
How long does it
Um,
take you?
literally like maybe 60 seconds, like a
I don't know. I
minute.
have a block. I feel like another step.
It's so good.
Does
Your
a
butt.
loofah? Do you think a loofah in the shower counts as dry brushing or no?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Because I like a loofah you won't really feel that circulation stimulation that you feel with a dry brush. And
Uh,
dry brushing really like stimulates the lymphatic better, I think.
okay.
When you get in the shower, I really don't feel that same heat that I feel from a dry brush.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
Okay.
I'll try
Just
it.
do it. I mean,
I know. It's just like.
what I tell clients, honestly, if you do
Uh-huh.
it for 2 weeks straight without
Uh-huh.
skipping, check your booty and you'll thank me.
I have a flat ass.
You
I
wouldn't
don't
have
know
to
my.
thank.
It's non-existent. But I will try, and I'll make my husband double check. Okay.
Okay, fine.
All right. What is your skincare routine? Like, walk me through your skincare routine right now, and then obviously through quarantine, has it changed? Like, did you pivot your own skincare routine throughout this whole time, or not really?
No, I mean, I honestly, I take care of myself. I mean, I'm actually turning 50 in a month, so
I mean, you look amazing.
Thanks,
You
babe.
look amazing. But so tell me, what do you do? Like,
Okay.
what is talk me through your morning and then talk me through your night.
Okay, morning, I cleanse my face with my vitamin C face wash, which has some salicylic in it,
Uh-huh.
um, and some kojic acid because I do get a lot of melasma.
Uh-huh.
Um, I put my daily serum on, which is my green juice for the skin. It's got like chlorophyll and oatgrass juice in it.
Uh-huh.
And then I do my rejuvenating serum, which is jojoba, olive oil, argan oil,
Uh-huh.
rose hips and neroli,
Uh-huh.
and then sunscreen.
Okay. Which
Um,
sunscreen?
I really enjoy Supergoop. I like the powder, the SPF 45,
Okay.
because I can reapply it easily and it doesn't feel like it's suffocating me.
Uh-huh. You don't
Um,
use their cream. You don't use their cream formulations?
I do on vacation,
Okay. Okay.
but like I wear makeup to work, so I just feel like the powder is better for me because I can
Okay.
reapply throughout the day.
Yeah, I like the powder.
Evening, I wash my face with vitamin C face wash again. I will do my Supernova serum, which is a retinol serum,
Okay.
and eye cream.
How strong is the retinol serum?
It's a 3%, like
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty up there, but like not insane.
Okay.
Um, and it really keeps my melasma in check and it keeps your pores cleaner and I'm not getting so much. I do get some breakouts from the mask. I had one here.
I know. I know. I had it here earlier. Or I don't here.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Um, so that I exfoliate with my exfoliating mask, a scrub twice a
Uh-huh.
week, and I use the Magic Glow Wand
This guy.
with my serums. Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you use this on top of your serums every day?
Yeah. Yeah. Just because I tend to get puffy. I do Peloton every day,
You
like
do?
you.
I'm gonna start tagging you.
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm gonna tag you for sure. I want to see you do it.
But I do get puffy anyway because I'm just not walking. I mean, there's
Uh-huh.
only so many times I can walk around my block. So
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's true. No, it's
you get
very true.
puffier.
Okay, so you're using most of your stuff, but obviously, what is one of your favorite skincare products that isn't yours? That you're like, oh my God, I absolutely, if I have to pick one, I'm obsessed with this one.
Okay, so um, a former guest of yours, Jordan Samuel,
Uh-huh.
he makes a cleanser called, I think it's called After the Show, and
Yeah.
it's a cleansing balm. I'm obs-
Jordan, I know he's watching because I saw him comment.
oh,
Uh-huh.
you did.
I saw him comment earlier. I don't know if he's still on, but yeah.
Um, I'm obsessed with that one because it really breaks up like the makeup and the sunscreen. I love that. Oh, there he is.
Uh-huh.
Um, Another product that's not mine that I really like, Renee Rouleau has a triple berry enzymatic face mask
Okay.
that I really like. It feels very enzymatic on the face, and I like a
Okay.
good stimulating burn.
Uh-huh.
So that one's good. I like from the drugstore, I really like Thayer's Witch Hazel, the rose hip spray
Okay.
for hydrating my
I don't
skin.
know why I've never been into witch hazel.
Really? Is it like a doctor thing? Do doctors not like it or just you just
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm always like, it's kind of irritated. Like, I've been irritated by it.
oh
I don't like it. I don't know. It just hasn't been my thing. But I like rose oil. Or
yeah.
are you talking about rose hip oil?
They have one that has like rose hip oil in it
Okay.
and it
Uh-huh.
feels really hydrating, like just to
Okay.
mist your face. So
Okay.
yeah.
What about somebody asked, what do you think about Weleda?
I like it. It kind of I mean I used it on my little girl. Like
Uh-huh.
I like it. I don't use it on myself. It's not enough for me.
Hmm.
I'm old though, so I need more
You're not
active.
old. You're not old at all. Okay. If there's one product from your own skincare line, and somebody was asking, you have so many, but they want to pick one to buy, which is the one that you're like, okay, if you have to pick one, buy this one of your skincare line. Which one would it be?
I would definitely go with the daily serum, which is my green juice for the skin,
Okay.
the chlorophyll oatgrass juice hyaluronic acid serum. It's my top selling product
Okay.
worldwide.
Uh-huh.
It's light. It doesn't, for men, it doesn't get in your eyes if you sweat at the gym. Um, it's hydrating, but it's very a light formula, and I like greens for the skin because I feel like it helps to
To keep it
increase
all
circulation. So,
glowing. Okay, I
yeah,
need to try it. I definitely need to try it. And thank you. You did send it to me, but I haven't had a
good.
chance to try it yet because I was
That's
like
fine.
psychotic between the houses and the kids. But I'm absolutely gonna try it. So thank you.
Yes.
Okay. And how do you address, so we always get this question between dry or dehydrated skin.
Hmm.
And I found it funny. We had like 4 or 5 people ask you this. Like, how do you address dry versus dehydrated skin? Or do you want
Um,
to quickly explain the difference if somebody,
so dry skin means that it's not producing enough oil, like your pores don't are really minimal or not visible. And so you're just not you're simply not producing enough oil. Dehydration can occur on any skin type, and it's just lacking moisture. So your natural oils do help hold moisture in the skin.
Mhm.
So that's a thing. But even oily skin people can be dehydrated. I had
Mhm.
a woman today who came in with quite a bit of acne, but her skin was severely dehydrated.
So what
Um,
did you tell her? Like, how did you help her?
for that, she has a lot of allergies, so I
Mhm.
suggested that she buy a very simple organic jojoba oil,
Okay.
because typically that won't make you break out further, and it'll
Mhm.
kind of help hold some moisture in the skin.
Mhm.
But for her also, she was using like 5 different acids on her
Like,
face,
there you go. There
and
you
like
go.
in every step,
There you
in
go.
every step. So
Uh-huh.
I had to talk her off the ledge also because a she's a celebrity, and so
Uh-huh.
it's really hard when you have to be in front of people and you have a face full of pimples. So I do understand the
Yeah.
feeling like you just want to burn your face off, but it's not really recommended.
No, I agree. Do you tell them to use the oil before or after they moisturize?
Um, after.
After.
Um,
Although I'm gonna say it correctly. I'm laughing at myself because I was making fun of myself a few nights ago. I don't know if you caught this story, but I was laughing at how I used to pronounce it jojoba oil, not knowing it was a Spanish plant. And I was like, and then somebody, I got like a million. It's not jojoba, it's jojoba. I was reading how they wrote it out,
oh my
and I was like,
God.
jojoba, jojoba, momoba, and they're like, that's culturally insensitive, and I'm like, that's not what I meant. I was making fun of myself. So that's only one reason why I'm kind of laughing. But the jojoba oil, I agree, can go on. You don't think it could go on a little bit before the moisturizer, or
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Absolutely.
because that's what I
I
was saying the other night.
I typically, if I'm doing my own face,
Uh huh.
I put my jojoba oil serum first and then moisture on top,
Uh huh.
and I'm good. I have severely dehydrated skin that's also
Uh
very dry.
huh.
So I do it that way, but it really depends on the skin and what
How you
I'm
hold
trying to
it.
do. But
Yeah.
for her, a lot of her acne was also it was not because it was because of her gut. So
Okay. Someone's asking, how do you know if you're over exfoliating? I'll let you jump into that one because you just were talking about it.
I mean, if you're exfoliating and the good doctor can correct me if she feels like I'm incorrect, but if you're exfoliating more than twice a week, I think that's really excessive. And I think what you need to do is let let your skin heal from it, like you're exfoliating away dead skin cells. And essentially you're trying to stimulate collagen production as well.
Hmm.
You can't strip the skin of all of its natural oils. So I think if you're doing it, um, for whatever reason, if you think you need it 3 times a week, I think you just need to change your products. I think that's too much.
3 times a week. I think it depends on what you're using as an chemical. I'm talking about chemical exfoliation. I don't know if you're referring to chemical or more physical.
I was referring to more physical.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of physical, only because I see a lot of acne patients who come in thinking they're like scrubbing,
Oh, girl.
and I think it's
Oh,
just like you really don't need to be doing that. So for
no.
me, I'm always like, let's stick to more gentle chemical exfoliants. So
Yeah.
chemical exfoliants, I would say like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, you can actually go depending on how much makeup you're using, and your skin type. But physical, like I'm more of like a less is more, like Clarisonic, whatever, once a week, maximum twice, like
I'm no longer a fan of anybody using the, I just think,
Clarisonic.
yeah, I've had too many. I had
Reintroduction of
it,
bacteria.
yeah, yeah. I
I
had one
know.
client years ago. He had the worst case of acne I've ever seen, and it was because he was using a Clarisonic every night.
It's because they have this, it's like an OCD tendency, right? It's like
Correct.
pickers. So it's like
Correct.
they feel, or like even, hey, I have a little OCD tendencies, but you feel something, you want to kind of pull it off because it feels smooth, and then you think it feels better even though you look way worse, you
Yeah.
know?
I
So
mean,
it's one,
it's horrible. I have a question for you. Do you think that using, there's someone that's asking about AHA or a chemical every day. Do you think that that's excessive? Because I think that gets tough for me. I think it has a tendency to dehydrate the skin after a while.
I think every day can be excessive.
Okay.
Yes. I feel like sometimes if you're, listen, I think, actually, I take a step back. Look at your skin where it's at if you're using it every day. And if your skin is good, good for you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if it's working for you, good for you. If your skin is not where you want it to be, then I would say take a step back, because more often than not, less is more.
Yeah.
And you definitely don't want to overdo it, because you can get very confused as to what you're doing and what you're introducing and what is causing what. And I have patients who come in with like 30 steps. And one person in particular today, I said, we're stopping everything for the next couple of weeks because I want to see where your skin is at without any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I do think that sometimes people definitely overdo it.
Yeah. I mean,
You
I
know?
see that more often than not, just because people just go nuts with all the acid peeling. I did have a client once. She was only 29 years old. She was getting a chemical peel at her dermatologist every 4 weeks. And I got to tell you, she didn't have a spot on her face.
Uh-huh.
She had skin like yours.
Really?
Not, and I
I
was like, so what, just give me an idea of what you're trying to do with these chemical peels. And she was like, oh, anti-aging.
at 20,
20, she was 29, 28, something
it's
like
just
that.
like I just feel, yeah, I mean, my first thing that I always say, and I'll say this to you, I'll say this in front of you, behind you, in front of everyone. I think you should never depend on anyone to have good skin. You need to learn how to take care of your skin first and foremost,
Yeah.
and empower yourself on how to take care of your skin. And then you supplement it, whether it's with every once in a while, like a chemical peel, like you're saying, or a facial, or whatever it is. But to feel like you need to go every month to get a chemical peel or something to I just think it's too dependent, and
I
I
love
try to
that.
do, I try to do that with my patients. I'm like, go for those facials if you enjoy them, but don't feel like you need it as a crutch to have good skin. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I do. I do know what you mean. And I love that because I'm all about empowering my clients to really understand their own skin so that they can feel like they understand it and do better at home.
Yeah. Someone just asked, can I put Vaseline all over my face to keep it from drying out? I am a fan if you have really dry or dehydrated skin. I am in the winter time. I've done it. I've actually used homeoplasmine on my face, especially when I go to Europe and the air is extremely dry, or even in the apartments here in New York.
Hmm.
If I don't have a humidifier, which I've been slacking and I haven't bought one yet. So I've definitely done that, and I wake up the next day and I feel better, but it's not something I do every single night.
Okay.
So I don't know. Someone was asking. Okay.
Yeah.
Where was I on your thing? Oh, how do you adjust your skincare routine in the summer for oily skin?
I mean, for me, I usually in summer I feel like you can step up your exfoliation game, just to keep your pores cleaner.
Uh-huh.
And I would just use a simple hyaluronic acid serum and kind of just sunscreen and that's it. Whereas in winter, you would need a different protocol.
Hmm.
Um, I like an exfoliating cleanser. You know, like I have a salicylic acid cleanser. I kind of
Hmm.
like that to keep the pores clean for every day. I'm a huge fan of LED light therapy
Uh-huh.
for clients that are struggling with breaking out. Oily skin doesn't necessarily break out, it's just hard to keep in control of the pores.
Uh-huh.
So those things I think are really great.
Okay, I like that advice. I usually say you can even just skip the moisturizer altogether.
Sure,
Yeah, you don't need a
sure.
moisturizer.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the person. I think some people feel like they need something, and I think like depending on the formula, like a simple hyaluronic acid serum is kind of nice.
But what's a good at-home LED light?
Um, so I recommend Dr. Dennis Gross's
Uh-huh.
because I think it's nicely priced, it's reasonable. Um,
How much is it?
I think it's in the 200s.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
You could check.
Okay.
I also Baby Quasar is a great brand. It's a little pricier and it's only
Uh-huh.
a wand, which I
Okay.
think no one's going to sit there and whatever.
Uh-huh.
Um, those are the ones I really recommend. There's one really expensive one that has given several of my actress clients really bad melasma.
Which one?
So
I think I know what you're talking about. Is it the big one?
no, the Saluma, no,
Yeah. Oh, Sansaluma?
no, it's
Oh,
the fancy mask one.
I don't know.
It's begins with a D.
I don't know what you're talking because the Saluma I've seen actually cause worsening of the melasma.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you're telling me that because people have been asking me about it because it's more expensive, so everybody thinks that more
I
expensive
know, but
means
it gets
better.
hot a little bit. And I think the
Thank you
heat
for
is
telling
what's
me that.
triggering it. I'll tell you
Oh,
something, these
someone
rings,
just said Desi Pro. That's the one I'm
Desi
talking.
Pro, I haven't
Yeah.
actually tried that one, but it's so interesting. The Saluma, I've seen two patients, and I think it's there. I asked them if it got hot, and they said yes. And I think that's actually what's triggering it. So I don't know, but I've never tried it myself.
Neither have
I'm
I.
taking their word for it, and I'm like, did you buy the real one? Did you buy it on Amazon? You know what I mean? And I don't know
Yeah.
where they bought it. So like who the hell knows? I really don't know. I just think with LED lights you really have to make sure you're buying it from the right source.
Yeah. Um, the Dennis Gross one, I haven't had problems with any of my clients.
Uh-huh.
Baby Quasar is a very high quality brand, and the
Uh-huh.
lights are they're professional quality. Those devices, they're just expensive. So,
Okay, interesting. Okay.
yeah.
And right, so I feel like we kind of hit most of them. Is there anything that you feel like we missed? I don't know.
Um, I mean, uh, I don't think so. I think, we didn't really, what are your feelings about like, microneedling with radio frequency? I'm obsessed with it.
I love it. I think it has to be done in a very, controlled environment. I think there are too many people saying, "Oh, I'll just microneedle you with radio frequency," and then you end up having these patients with burns.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not as simple and straightforward as one would think, so you really have to make sure you're going to the right place. I like all devices that, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Re, it's 9:20 p.m. and I feel like it's midnight. With all of these devices that not redistribute collagen, restructure collagen, etc.,
Remold,
remodel
remodel.
collagen, I feel like you have to set expectations. And I always tell this to patients, it's not going to be like a one-hit wonder with the first treatment. And it's something that builds upon itself, and you have to be patient, in seeing the results over time. So, but I really like it. I definitely think I use it a lot around the eyes for the fine lines. I
Yeah.
use it I actually did PRP on myself without the microneedling, but I use it in combination with PRP. So I definitely think there's something, I think it's definitely worth its merit.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with it. We trained for a year before we brought it onto the menu.
Oh, really?
And only my master estheticians do it.
Uh-huh.
It's the Morpheus. Someone just said I'm scared of the Morpheus.
Uh-huh.
It was an undertaking. We seriously did train for a year. But I feel like it really does show a big improvement, even in one, but obviously you have to do it in a series. But I love it. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed.
I always shy away from saying just with one. You'll get an approval. I'm like, let's set expectations down here. And if you're up here, we're winning. You know?
What I meant by that is just like you do see a texture change in the skin.
Uh-huh.
You do see the skin quality does change. Am I saying, are you going to get a facelift from
Uh,
one treatment of something? No.
no.
I have to I'm about to turn 50. I really feel like I need microneedling, pretty regularly in order to keep everything glued together. So,
Yeah. How do you follow up the treatment? What products do you usually tell people to use post-treatment?
so immediately following the needling session, we do my Twilight mask, which has epidermal growth factor
Uh-huh.
in it, and we put them in the LED light bed that I have in my salon.
Uh-huh.
And then follow up, we send them home with epidermal growth factor masks to help the healing process. And they come right back in a few days later to do the bed again and to be looked over and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that. And then, of
Yeah.
course, like sunscreen and, you know.
Yeah. No, because I don't like the elastin nectar Malibu postcard. I was not my patient, but there was a patient in the practice that they used that afterwards after I think it was The Secret, where they were doing microneedling with heat, and the patient developed small little granulomas. And
Oh,
so I'm very, 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 especially when you're breaking the skin barrier, just be, cautious about that. So I've shied away from the elastin nectar post microneedling with heat.
you
Okay.
can't put anything on I mean, the way I was trained, you can't put any oils on the skin right after microneedling
No.
because all sorts of stuff can happen, and so we don't put anything on after.
No, I don't either. Okay, so I think I can't believe we've been speaking for an hour. This is crazy.
I know.
I could keep going. All right, so let's finish this off with basically a closing question, then a random rapid fire. Okay?
Okay, okay, okay.
So you've basically accomplished so much, and you really are an inspiration, just in more ways than one, not just professionally, but personally, you and Caesar and how you guys do everything.
Thanks,
What's your
hon.
next goal for yourself?
Um, my next goal for myself, I am really hoping to write another book, believe it or not.
You just wrote
Um,
your book.
I know, but I loved it. I loved it. It was
Uh-huh.
so much fun for me.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. Uh-huh.
so I'd like to do that again. And I would like to just, you know, really, my message to everybody is sort of like anybody can have great skin. You just have to figure out what your skin wants you to do, what your body's doing. And so, to empower more people to have that, I think is really important to me.
Okay.
And it's not about buying my products in particular. It's just about knowing how the skin works. So, more of that, hopefully opening my New York salon again.
I hope so. When do you think that's gonna happen? Are they pushing it?
Girl.
What are they saying?
Um, there have been conflicting reports. I thought we were in phase 3. Someone told me, no, that's wrong. I'm honestly, genuinely not sure. Because I've been in California, I'm sort of just focused on here.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I know phase 3 is probably going to start on Monday in New York City. I thought we were going to be open in a few weeks, but I really don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Fingers crossed. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Rapid fire.
yes, I'm ready.
Who's your favorite celebrity that you ever treated? No pressure.
Wow. So some of them are my actual friends, so this
Uh-huh.
is such a weird
Pick
question.
one.
Um, I'm really, really good friends with Gretchen Mol. I feel really close to Mindy Kaling.
Uh-huh.
Um, Rachel Brosnahan. This is not fair.
Okay, who's your least favorite? Even
Well,
worse.
I'll tell you this.
Uh-huh.
I can't answer that, but I will say that she has been banned from my salon.
Ooh, what'd she look like?
She's blonde.
That's not really helpful. Okay, you'll tell me later. Okay. Oh,
I'll
I
tell
think
you
I know.
later. And the only reason why she was banned and
I
why I
think
don't
I
like
know.
her,
Is she older?
I cannot answer any more questions. I'm gonna say that she anybody who mistreats my staff is not welcome in my salon, and I'd rather starve than have anybody
I know. I know. I know
you
exactly.
know.
I know
So
exactly who you're talking about. Okay. All right. What is your biggest fear and how do you conquer it?
my biggest fear, honestly, and you and I have talked extensively about this, is that I I really do I have trouble extending myself or taking a risk on myself. I don't like to, I'm not like a Vegas high roller that just gambles a lot. And so I'm a more cautious player than my husband is. And so my biggest fear is really like, we just got this big space. How are we going to pay the rent? It's just really like silly, like basic fears that are like not even about myself as a business person, but just funny money things and,
How do
you
you
know,
overcome those fears? Like, how do you? Don't tell me Caesar.
no,
He pushes you to like
no,
just do
that
it.
doesn't work. An
Uh-huh.
external thing doesn't work. I really, honest to God, I think about what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the best thing that can happen? And I just go back and forth with myself until I calm down, because that's really the only way that I can kind of face it
Uh-huh.
in worst case, best case scenario. And that works for me. And because he'll fall asleep right away at night and I'll be up at night, literally like
Like
stressing
thinking.
about, yeah. And so, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? You know, you could die or, you know,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
whatever I'm worried about. I was very stressed about the book. So I had many sleepless nights about it.
About your book. By the way, I have it here, which I just realized. Hold on. 1 second. I have it here. But it's a great book, and you had nothing to be stressed about. I didn't mean to throw it, but I was holding the computer and the phone and the book, and it fell. But it's
Yeah.
here. But yeah,
Well, I just
you
wanted
did
it to
not.
be sound, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. No, I know, because I think because you hold yourself to very high standards and expectations that you don't want to let yourself down in the process.
And also, to be honest with you, so many people count on me uh, for their livelihood, for their success, our family, our staff, everybody looks to me. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's a lot of pressure sometimes, honestly.
But I believe in you. Okay,
Thank you, sweetie.
if that's worth anything, but I do. All right,
It is.
three
It's worth a
items.
lot.
3 items you would take with you to a deserted island, and they don't have to be beauty items.
I would definitely take my rejuvenating serum because
Okay.
it's the only thing that makes my face not feel like it's falling off.
Uh-huh.
I would take a bicycle, and
A
because
Peloton or a bicycle
a
bicycle?
bicycle,
Okay.
so I could drive around the island
Uh-huh.
and explore. And gee, what's the third thing? I would probably take like a I would probably take a book. I would probably take um, an autobiography or something that I could read over and over again.
Okay. I like that. You're very thoughtful. All right. What is your drink of choice?
Um, I I don't drink alcohol
Uh-huh.
anymore. I gave
Uh-huh.
it up years and years ago.
Uh-huh.
So my drink of choice is seltzer water with lots of lime in it.
I love that. I love seltzer water. It's very refreshing. And
It
what's
is.
your favorite vacation spot?
Oh,
Where
ooh,
would
the
you go
thing
right
is,
now if you could go anywhere in the world where we're not banned from? Like, where would you go? Because we're not allowed into the EU right now.
no, of
But where
course,
would you go if you could go anywhere?
Mallorca.
So pretty.
Hmm.
So pretty. All right. And what's for dinner?
Um, hmm. Well, We're actually going to a restaurant for the first time since we've been here tonight,
Oh,
but
you're living on the edge. You're
but
living
they
on the edge.
it's a private it's the San Vicente bungalows, and they've like socially distanced all the tables and stuff like that.
Oh
So
my God, you have to. I'm too
um
scared still. I'm too scared. I feel like I'm like Stockholm syndrome still. I'm like I can't move from like my apartment.
we haven't gone out all week, but we always end off our visits in LA with a team dinner. And
Uh-huh.
so we're taking some of our team out to dinner just because they've just been, you know,
Under a
depressed, and
lot of stress.
it'll be nice for them and whatever. We're doing
No,
it.
that's very nice. And between LA or New York, which one do you prefer?
New York, New
That's right.
York.
And who do you nominate next for One Night Stand?
I nominate one of my really good esthetician friends. Her name is Lakeisha Dale. She owns a skincare salon named Meliskin Studio.
Okay.
And I think you're gonna love her. She was actually at the Dior event that I last
Uh-huh.
saw you at, but you left before you met her.
Okay. I didn't meet her though, but I
She's
would love
a
to meet her and
younger
have her on.
esthetician, and she's so smart. You're just gonna eat her up,
Oh
and
my gosh, I can't wait.
very inspiring to speak to. I just did a live with her a couple, maybe 2 weeks ago, and
Okay.
she's a fucking delight. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
I swear
No, it's
sometimes.
okay. Don't worry about it. Have you not met me? Don't worry about it.
I forget
Um,
sometimes. Sorry, everybody else.
no worries, no worries. Can
um,
you send me in a DM her screen name,
yes,
and this way I can tag her when I repost
yes,
this?
yes.
Absolutely. I would love to have her on. But anyway, this was amazing. We are exactly at 1 hour. I'm surprised it didn't cut me off yet.
I know.
But this was so much fun. I hope you had fun with me.
I
All
loved
the way
it,
from
sweetie.
California.
I loved
I
it.
can't wait for you to be back.
I can't wait to come back. I can't wait to see you again. This was so much fun. Thank you for letting me be a part of this amazing phenomena you've created. I'm so proud to be your friend.
Oh, and I'm so proud to be like have you in my life, as my mentor, as a friend, as everything. So thank you. So
Yeah.
I will see you hopefully on this side of the US. All right.
All
Take
right.
care. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. I don't know. There she goes. So there goes Joanna. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This was a lot of fun for me. She really is an inspiration on many levels. I will be saving this to IGTV because I think that's what it does now. So thank you, and I will see you guys soon.